Hi guys, how you doing? Thanks for watching. I'm making this video to share something that happened to me back in November 2014. I had been getting really close to the Lord. I had just had my son. He was 2 months. I was wanting to do something extraordinary for God. I wanted to share with others what had happened to me. I wanted to share my faith with others. I wanted to do something amazing for God because I felt like He had done so much for me. Creating a YouTube channel was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I had to step out and walk by faith and not by sight. I did not know how this would impact others, but I did know that the Lord was pushing it on me to tell others what He had done for me. And I did it in hopes that I could help others get closer to Him, that I could help somebody that was going through similar situations that I was. I decided one day that I was going to do it. I had worked up the courage. I was praying. And it was about, I want to say, midnight. Stephen was asleep, my fiance, and my son was asleep. And I'd been praying and praying. And I said, you know what, God, I made up my mind. I'm going to do it. I'm going to post my testimony on YouTube tomorrow, and I'm going to create the channel. Back then, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just going to figure it out, and I had set my mind to it. I had prayed really, really hard that night, and I said, you know what, God, I'm going to do it. I'm really going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I went to sleep. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning. Stephen commutes to work and would leave really early in the morning, and he had left around 5 o'clock in the morning that day. And I was dead asleep. Jeremiah was my son was on the bed with me, and something came and woke me. It was almost like it shook me, and I woke up. I looked around, and I knew that something was trying to scare me. So I just said, okay, just calm down, go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep, and it was about 20 minutes later, it came back. I know it was a demon, and if you were sitting there watching this and you're asking yourself, like, what makes you so sure it was a demon? I know what I felt, and I know what I experienced, and it wasn't the first time. I've been attacked like this before, but this time was the strongest and the hardest for me because my son was laying in bed next to me. And whatever it was came over me, and it would not let me go. I was completely paralyzed. I could not move a finger. I couldn't talk. I couldn't say Jesus. I couldn't say Lord. I couldn't say anything. It had literally paralyzed me and held me down and would not let me go. And I heard it whisper in my ear on my right side. It whispered, "Damn you." But I mean, if you ever heard an evil voice, I heard it. It said, "Damn you." It was mad. It was evil. It was so angry at me. I cannot explain to you guys the fear that will come over you when something attacks you, something invisible, evil attacking you. And I could not move, and I could not get to my son. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to experience. Walking with the Lord, amazing things have happened to me. Yes, the Lord has done great things in my life, but also bad things have also happened to me, and that was one of them. Finally, when it released me, I reached over to my son, and I just picked him up. I was terrified. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. The only thing that came to my mind was to call the two godliest people that I know, Bob Fort